Greetings, this is Dr. Della Welch again, continuing our lecture on the next tape on ethics. I want to review some basic definitions and also discuss Aristotle's virtue ethics in more detail. What is virtue ethics? Virtue ethics emphasizes the development of character as its central theme, rather than trying to define goodness or rightness. It is a eudaimonistic theory, as it holds happiness to be our highest goal. According to Aristotle, we attain happiness by cultivating both intellectual and moral virtue. We become virtuous by habit. We deliberately and consistently choose the mean or the middle between excess and deficiency, until it becomes second nature. I also think of the example of the three bears, where you don't want the soup to be too hot or too cold, but just in the middle. Now, looking at some general questions on ethics. The first one, the belief that morals can be different, but none better than another, is moral relativism. That is true. The approach to virtue that stressed pleasure as the ultimate virtue is called hedonism. That's true. Virtue ethics is most closely associated with A. Aristotle, B. Socrates. No, the answer would be A. Aristotle. According to Aristotle, the ultimate good is A. Happiness, B. Wealth. Aristotle would say A. Happiness. 5. Who were famous Greek philosophers before Aristotle? A. Socrates and Plato, B. Hobbes and Locke, C. Kant and Mill. The answer is A. Socrates and Plato. Next, Socrates is known for A. Questioning, B. Selfishness. The answer would be A. Questioning. In fact, in all law schools today in America, they use the Socratic method, which is asking questions to teach the law. So that is very important. Going to some other questions, Aristotle thought that the final end of human activity is to achieve happiness, which is called A. eudaimonia, B. energy, C. enemy. The answer is A. eudaimonia. 2. In Greek, the virtue arete means excellence. That is true. Aristotle said that virtue requires discipline and practice. That is true, to have this repetitive behavior and habits to learn virtue. 4. Aristotle said that there are two kinds of virtues: intellectual, such as scientific knowledge, and moral values, such as courage and justice. That is true. Aristotle's theory of virtue ethics provides that we can think about situation in terms of virtues, rather than asking, should everyone do this, as Kant contends, or what option will bring the greatest consequence, as utilitarianism contends. That is true. 6. A virtuous life is a happy life, per Aristotle, and that is true. 7. Aristotle wants a person to be excellent in being a human being, and that is true. 8. Aristotle advocated to use your reasoning, to be rational, in pursuit of the good life, and that is true. 9. Virtue ethics is about having a good moral character. That is true. Number 10. Aristotle believed that a virtuous person is a person disposed to do virtuous acts. So if you can answer these questions, it will help you in the learning of philosophy. Next, the Socratic method teaches by A, asking questions, B, by example, C, punishment. The correct answer is A, asking questions. Who was Aristotle's famous pupil? That was Alexander the Great, and if you know history, he almost conquered the world, and he died at a very young age. The word philosophy comes from the word A, love and wisdom, B, beauty, C, truth. The correct answer is A, love and wisdom. Aristotle referred to happiness, yes, and that was called eudaimonia. Aristotle argued that a virtuous person acted to the extreme. That would be false. He said we don't want to act to the extreme, or we don't want to act virtuous. Non-virtuous meaning deficient or cowardice. We want to have courage. We don't want to be extreme or deficient. Deontology matches best with A, Kant, B, Aristotle, C, Socrates, D, none. The correct answer would be Kant. Matches with deontology. Aristotle thought happiness was the greatest good. That is true.